When it comes to weight loss, no two people are the same. That's why Noom builds personalized plans based on your unique psychology and biology. Take Brittany. After years of unsustainable diets, Noom helped her lose 20 pounds and keep it off.
I was definitely in a yo-yo cycle for years of just losing weight, gaining weight, and it was exhausting.
And Stephanie. She's a former D1 athlete who knew she couldn't outtrain her diet, and she lost 38 pounds.
My relationship to food before Noom was never consistent.
And Evan, he can't stand salads, but he still lost 50 pounds with Noom.
I never really was a salad guy. That's just not who I am. Even through the pickiness, Noom taught me that building better habits builds a healthier lifestyle. I'm not doing this to get to a number. I'm doing this to feel better.
Get your personalized plan today at Noom.com. Real Noom users compensated to provide their story. In 4 weeks, the typical Noom user can expect to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. Individual results may vary.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous 2-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Hello, I'm Josh Hallam and welcome back to another Just Films and That New Release Review. Hope you're well. Thank you very much for tuning in. First of all, Happy New Year. Hope 2024 was good for you. Hope 2025 is even better. Just a reminder, if you haven't heard the last episode of 2024, then we will be taking a break from releasing regular Tuesday episodes. Episodes like this, where we review new releases and things like that, will continue, as we'll throw back Thursdays, but we're just taking a little bit of time to look at refreshing the pod, as we've been going weekly for some time now, so we need to look at mixing things up a little bit and changing a few bits and bobs, but we will be back as soon as we can. Anyway, back to the review this time around, and for our first review of 2025, I'm going to be taking a look at Nosferatu. I will try and keep this as spoiler-free as possible, but I might touch on things featured in promo material and trailers and things like that. So if you don't want to know anything at all, then give this a listen after you've seen it. In terms of the plot then, so, I mean, basically, it's a remake of the 1922 film, which has got the same name, and it's a loose adaptation of similar adaptation of Dracula. I don't think I need to say more than that. Remake of the original, adaptation of Dracula at the same time. It's directed by Robert Eggers, who you may know directed films such as The Lighthouse and The Northman. So let's have a look then. So as ever, I'm going to take a look in the same sort of structure of the other episodes in terms of likes, dislikes. Let's get stuck in then. So I went into this one both excited and with sort of slight trepidation in terms of fear of the unknown. I must confess, to my shame, I've never seen a Robert Eggers film up until now. I'd always intended to watch them, but I just hadn't got to any of them yet. But I did know he was known for, he was pretty well regarded, made good films with strong visuals and things like that. So that informed how I went in terms of my excitement. I have to say, I thought this was pretty excellent. So in terms of the likes, then let's get into them. There are plenty of them. It's an absolute visual and sensory feast. It looks and sounds amazing. There's great use of light and dark and shadow, as well as the fact that it's in both black and white and color. So this combines really well with the editing to make the whole film feel like a sort of melancholic, melodramatic gothic fever dream, which I think does pretty well in terms of the subject matter and the source material as well. Speaking of the editing as well, it's so sharply done in this. It did what all great editing does, and it helped with the pacing. We all know I'm not a huge fan of the over 2 hour runtime, but this clocks in past that, and this is an example of how to do it right. At no point did I feel the length, and a lot of that I think is down to just how well it's edited, as well as more important aspects as well in terms of like the visuals and things like that. So it's edited really, really well. Did not feel the pace at all. The cast are fantastic in this too. So you got Nicholas Hoult, Lily Rose Depp, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Emma Corrin, Bill Skarsgård, Simon McBurney, Willem Dafoe. They all get their opportunities to shine, and boy, do they take it. So they really managed to excel in the melodrama side of things without it ever feeling like it's verging on the annoying. So I thought that was a really interesting balance to strike in terms of, again, paying homage to that source material, particularly Dracula. Whilst everyone is good, I do want to specifically mention a few people. So firstly, I think this is the first time I've seen Lily Rose Depp in anything, and I thought she was excellent. So she's got a lot to do in this with her physicality, and I thought she nailed it. Give a very unvain performance as well, so I thought that was brilliant. Bill Skarsgård is great in this as Orlok too. I don't think I've seen him give a bad performance yet. I haven't seen The Crow. I know it wasn't well reviewed, but I haven't heard anyone say anything bad about his performance, and I don't think I've seen him give a bad performance yet. He's different and compelling in every role I've seen him take on, and this is no different. I think the work he's done in this to create his own take on such an iconic character is clear to see. You know, things like his voice work, to the point where his voice is so distinctive in this that I thought it might have been altered in post, but apparently he just worked with a voice coach to get it that low, and he does a really good job of injecting elements of the source material in terms of he has a very specific accent in this and the way he rolls his R's and things like that, which I thought was really good. Then finally, Simon McBurney is excellent in this too. He's an actor I always enjoy seeing in things, and I thought he was wonderful in this as he ever been in that kind of Renfield type role. He's not in it that much, but the scenes he is in are, for me, the most memorable and creepy. And then just to finish, I've already sort of mentioned it a little bit, but there's some really good, wonderful nods to the source material and the original film, which I've not seen, but I do know a little bit about because its legacy is sort of undeniable, really, in terms of what came after it. So just little hints and references, like the way they use the outline of Count Orlok in shadow and keep him sort of minimize how much you actually see him, but when you do see him, it's really impactful and things like that. Some of the camera work, some of the shots as well. I know some of it is done with CGI, but I think to sort of summarize the ending of the lights, I think it might sound silly, but it feels to me like someone took the strengths of the original and injected it with everything that's good about modern filmmaking and advancements in technology, which is what a remake is good for, you know, almost like a bookmark of how far things have come. And I thought that this did that really, really well. In terms of anything negative, there isn't really much, to be honest. In the interest of balance, I've got 2 points, one specific and one a bit general. Specific one, it's just a minor gripe with the visual aspect. It's actually sort of the reverse of what I was saying there about it paying homage to the source material, which I can see why they've done it in terms of the look of Count Orlok, which is that they obviously are paying homage to the origins of Dracula and the fact that he's partially based or allegedly based on Vlad the Impaler. So he's got this sort of big mustache. I'd have liked to have seen him gone a bit more bigger, a bit more gothic with it, something that perhaps a little bit more closer to the original 1922 film, where he's, you know, pale white and he looks more like a monster, whereas in this he looks more like a guy. For example, as I said, they give him this big mustache, which you associate with the time, and you associate with pictures of Vlad the Impaler if you've seen like paintings of him and things like that. But because he spends a lot of time of the film in shadow, and because he's used quite sparingly, you don't see his hair. So you do see this very distinctive mustache, and he just spends a lot of the film looking at quite a lot like Jim Carrey in the Sonic films, and it just put me off a little bit. Generally speaking, and I'd say this probably isn't for everyone as well. Our screening was pretty packed, and as we left, there was a lot of satisfied sounding murmuring and things like that. But I can think of people I think will be put off by elements of horror and violence and the creepiness and things like that, as well as, believe it or not, people who will be put off by the fact that it's in black and white. But overall, listen, it's such a well-made film in every way. It's atmospheric, it's creepy. It's as creepy as it needs to be as well, and I will be definitely checking out more of Robert Eggers' work, because this was a great way to start 2025. As ever, this is my opinion. If you're interested, get out there, give it a watch, make up your own mind. Thanks very much for listening. I'll see you next time.
Over the past 75 years, more than 10,000 chemicals have entered our food supply, but the EU allows just 300 additives. At Thrive Market, we prioritize quality, banning over 1,000 ingredients found in conventional grocery stores. Our Healthy Swap scanner helps you find better versions of your pantry essentials without the junk, dyes, or fillers, and everything is delivered right to your doorstep. So shop at a grocery store that actually cares about your health at thrivemarket.com/get started for 30% off your first order and a free $60 gift.
There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest 100% organic cotton sheets from Boll & Branch. You'll fall asleep faster wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again with sheets that feel breathable to sleep in. You'll experience the purest softness on night one and feel your sheets get even softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first set of sheets at bowlandbranch.com with code BUTTERY. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Did you know 1 in 2 women wear the wrong foundation? Matching foundation is hard, but Il Maquillage makes it easy. Take the Power Match quiz to find a perfect match in seconds, customized to your unique skin tone, undertone, and coverage needs. With 600,000 5-star reviews, Woke Up Like This is our best-selling foundation for a reason. Available in 50 shades of weightless natural coverage. And with Try Before You Buy, you can try your full size at home for 14 days. Just pay shipping. Take the quiz at ilmaquillage.com/quiz. That's ILMAKIAGE.com/quiz.